and you can do shortcuts such as like you're seeing here now on this stage.
This is an incredibly vertical city.
Yes, it's inspired by San Francisco, famously. And Sonic's just skateboarding down in kind of a signature.
Oh, you even got the cable car turnaround.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, it's kind of a signature part of that level, but still a different experience. So we're trying to fulfill people's expectations and the nostalgia, but make it a new experience.
So we've got Green Hill Zone, we've got City Escape. Are we seeing, Casino Night Zone? Are we going to the Arctic? Are we going to Vegas? Are we going underground?
That's an excellent question. But right now, all that we're talking about is Green Hill Zone and City Escape. And people, sharp-eyed people who look at our video may notice some hints of some other stages. But all we're talking about right now are those two, but there are a lot more to come.
So keep a sharp eye out if you're checking out Sonic Generations content. Brian Hook from Iowa wants to know about another Sonic game. He's a big fan of Sonic Spinball. You guys including any little nods to Sonic's other adventures?
We're trying to be as comprehensive as possible, but we are kind of also looking at most people have exposure to the major titles, so we're keeping that in mind as well. But I'm not saying no.
Cool. Now, so you yourself, obviously an aficionado and a fan of Sonic.
Absolutely.
So when you sit down to play this game, you've played the modern games, you played the classic games. What's one thing that just kind of delights you? What puts a smile on your face when you're playing Sonic Generations, or when you think about other people playing it?
Well, another thing that's really awesome about the series is the music.
Besides the giant truck chasing down.
Yes. This truck. Let me talk. Yeah, this truck also shows the development team's philosophy. So that's a very famous moment within the City Escape. This truck chasing Sonic. But this time we have it in HD, and it's much more destructive. And this truck has these saw blades, and we're about to probably see something that's pretty cool right here. So again, we're showing the buildings. The dev team's trying to surprise people. Even if you played the previous game, even if the same thing that's happened in the previous level, you're going to be surprised in some way by exactly what happens.
Now I'm seeing that the truck, its license plate is gun, and so you think of guns, you don't really think of Sonic the Hedgehog, but I guess it's appropriate that a gun in Sonic's world is a giant flying truck with huge saw blades coming out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's the traditional name of the truck, and so we went with that.
So that's a traditional, something that'll scratch a nostalgic itch for a lot of folks. Are there any other big scale encounters you want to tease that Sonic's going to have with?
Well, one thing I wanted to be sure to touch on is the 3DS version.
Yes, please.
Fortunately, we don't have that to show here today, but we're also developing a version on the 3DS. And one very cool thing is we're picking a whole new suite of stages for the 3DS. So the stages that you see on PS3 and 360 are going to stand alone, and we're going to have an entirely new set of stages on 3DS, except for Green Hill Zone. So the stages you play on 3DS are going to be different than the stages you'll play on PS3 and 360.
That's very cool. And of course, 3DS will be in 3D, as you mentioned. The console version supporting stereoscopic 3D as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Like that truck scene is pretty impressive in stereoscopic.
I bet 3D. That one plays pretty well from the from that point of view. I can't get over that giant truck. That thing was awesome. And now we're back in the city stage, seeing a little bit more of the one of the more two-dimensional.
Yeah.
So this looks more like the classic style.
Exactly. So what's interesting here is City Escape was the gameplay of the modern is actually more similar to the original Sonic Adventure 2. But in creating this here in the classic version of City Escape, we basically, the dev team has license to create an entirely new zone that still include the signature elements. So again, here we have the truck.
Yay,
and he's threatening Sonic in an entirely new way, coming from the sides. But now here he's pulling to the background and coming back to the foreground.
You better make those jumps quickly.
Yep.
Nice. I notice he hasn't busted out the saw blades yet.
No, not just yet. But one of the cool things is the truck you may have seen here in the classic level actually destroys the terrain. So if you beat the truck across the terrain, it's going to be a different experience than if he beats you and destroys some of the level geometry.
Oh, interesting. So that plays into the Sonic's sort of multiple paths.
Exactly. Level. Exactly. So you'll be on a different path if the truck has destroyed the terrain, or if he hasn't destroyed the terrain,
and allow you to take a different course through the level.
Exactly.
We have got a lot of folks asking again about multiplayer and other characters, but like you said earlier, folks, Sonic, the two characters, classic Sonic and modern Sonic, and though we will be seeing other characters from the Sonic's history, none of them are playable in Sonic Generations.
Correct. So we're focusing on the experience with modern and classic Sonic, but you will be able to interact with your friends in some way. We just are not talking about just what yet. We will, on the 3DS version, I should mention, multiplayer, we will have two-player versus multiplayer mode.
Oh, great.
Yeah, this is a 3DS specific feature.
Okay.
Yes, so that will be available.
Are we
3DS.
talking a straight race through the level?
We're still, I don't think we're talking about the details of that just yet, but there will be some kind of multiplayer mode.
Wireless connectivity.
Yes, and we'll have Street Pass, a lot of other 3DS specific features.
Street Pass, maybe a Sonic AR card.
That's interesting.
Play around with.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
So that completes our stage. Maybe we can get the director back up here again.
Very cool. Perfect bonus. Game director doing very well.
Yeah.
Showing off his stuff. And now we see the score. You got a score there.
Yes.
Are we talking any kind of leaderboards? Maybe compete with your friends.
Yeah, we are including some internet functionality. So I don't think, again, we're not talking about the details, but there will be functionality around the leaderboard scoring. That's always fun and awesome to do with Sonic.
All right, Patrick. So more details to come about Sonic Generations in the coming months. But tell us, when is Sonic Generations coming out for the different platforms?
It's coming out holiday 2011 on all three platforms.
On PS3, 360, and 3DS.
Nintendo 3DS. Right.
Patrick Riley, thank you so much for joining us and bringing the blue blur by. Happy birthday to him.
Thank you. I'll pass on your best wishes.
All right, cheers. You folks are headed back out on the show floor yet again because there are just so many booths, and we have plenty of time to send them to you. Warner Brothers is where we're stopping off this time. Let's see what Homer Rivara manages to turn up there.
Hey folks, Homer Rivara back here in the South Hall. I'm at the Warner Brothers booth right behind me, and they've got a lot of cool games on display here. They got Once Upon a Monster. Our good friends at Double Fine are making this game for the Kinect, and as you can see behind us, or behind the TV that Warner's shooting right now, they got a little girl playing with the Kinect. I'm not too sure what they're doing. I guess they're trying to turn these bee-looking creatures around to go the other way. But fans of Sesame Street, I know I grew up on Sesame Street. Probably a lot of folks in our viewing audience, grew up with Sesame Street. So we got Elmo and Cookie Monster, and the game looks like a lot of fun for kids. So, and definitely one of those applications that are definitely more kid friendly. So we got more Once Upon a Monster over here. A lot of, oh, look at that. Itching that little furry thing, whatever that is. All right, if we keep